Hello and welcome. This is my build guide for the Diablo IV Season 13 Crackling Energy Sorcerer. We're going to start right off with a Pit 125 run, and then an Artificer Tower 125 run, and I'll be talking about the build sum at the beginning of each. If you want to see a full build guide, it's in the description below, and at the end of the runs I will also show the entire build then. The two main components of the build are the ultimate skill Unstable Currents and the new Rasha 5-piece set. Unstable Currents gives us stacking damage over a long duration that eventually builds up to a huge overall damage buff. We gain this damage buff by collecting Crackling Energy, which are the blue orbs that constantly spawn all around us. Each Crackling Energy we collect also reduces the remaining cooldown on the next Unstable Currents cast, which allows us to recast it as soon as it ends and bypass the original 2-minute cooldown it has. The Rasha 5-piece set bonus is the second main component of this build. Whenever we cast a Fire, Cold, or Lightning skill, we get a lot of bonuses, each with their own 6-second cooldown until they can trigger again. Defensively, this provides us with 30% all resist, stacking up to 3 times, one for each element, up to 90% total. Offensively, it does two major things. First, it's going to give us 100% bonus damage with all elements, stacking twice per element. This effectively triples our damage. And then the second thing it does is cast all 4 of our mastery skills. That's going to be Ball Lightning, Firewall, Blizzard, and Meteor, all cast for free. The general playstyle will be to pop our ultimate, and then fight packs of monsters until they are defeated or go CC immune. If they go crowd control immune, we can easily move on to the next pack, or 2, and circle back, thanks to our teleport having no cooldown. Once we have enough stacks of Crackling Energy collected, we can blast through every pack without a need to circle back, until our ultimate ends, and then we need to recast it and go back to building up stacks. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the rest of this run, and I'll be back at the start of the Artificer Tower 125 run with more advanced build concepts. And that's the first run. Hopefully you've been able to see some of the basic concepts I covered in action here, and now are ready to get into some of the more advanced things the build has to offer. I'm starting this Artificer Tower run a few hours later, and I've made one huge improvement to the build. Hydra, or more specifically Frigid Hydra, has replaced my Frost Familiar as my second code skill and only source of cold damage required for proccing the Rasha set. Hydra provides several bonuses that really help the build feel smooth. Most importantly is its ability to reduce cooldowns each time it attacks. And additionally, it's providing some nice passive healing too. Now I want to cover some of the main ways we generate Crackling Energy. The first and easiest way is teleport. Every time we teleport, we get 2 Crackling Energy to gobble up. We're constantly casting teleport the whole run, and most of the time it has no cooldown. We accomplish this using the Fire variant that allows it to consume 1 stack of overpower and instantly reset its cooldown. We're getting free meteor casts all the time from our set bonus, and one of the ways this helps us is by shooting out 6 smaller meteors per cast that all give us a stack of overpower. Teleport can use this to reset its cooldown. It also says on the teleport that it's supposed to have a shorter range, but I haven't really noticed this to be a problem. Another way we generate Crackling Energy to scoop up is with Chain Lightning's crits and lucky hits. Chain Lightning is our only spammable lightning skill, and it bounces a ton, has smart targeting, and generates a Crackling Energy every time it crits. This paired with the Unstable Current's lucky hits passive allows us to generate hundreds of Crackling Energy over its full duration. Now that we got all the damage stuff figured out, all that's left to do is survive. The skills that help us accomplish this are Ice Armor and Flame Shield. Ice Armor is one of the only skills I recommend putting hard points into past level 1 other than Unstable Currents. That's because each skill point in Ice Armor increases its barrier amount. Flame Shield, which has always been useful for dodging the biggest hits, but now is even better when paired with the Endurant Faith unique charm. While optional, this charm allows you to delay a massive hit over a period of 4 seconds instead of receiving the big damage all at once. This gives you plenty of time to Healing Potion and pop Flame Shield to survive an otherwise fatal blow. Now I'll leave you with the rest of this run showcasing all the things we've gone over so far. What a big difference Frost Hydra makes, letting us get off so many more defensive casts. I'll return at the end to go over all the gear, skills, and passives. And that's a wrap. That was my first time being able to clear a level 125 tower after a few failed attempts. It was my first time trying it with the swap to Hydra, and wow, that was so much easier. I'm now going to quickly show off my stats and gear. Feel free to pause the video on any of them to get a closer look as I hover over each thing pretty quickly. If you do want a more detailed and in-depth explanation of every gear choice, I have a comprehensive text-based guide linked in the description below that covers everything. These mythic uniques are not mandatory for the build to function. A single piece with mana regen on it, for example, can replace the Starless Sky Ring, and the build can still feel smooth to play. For all of the charms, the single most important stat is going to be plus to shock skills. It's going to make the build feel so much better to play if you can get even plus 2 to 3 on them, but they can roll Ancestral up to plus 4. You'll notice on the skill tree I have 13 different skills. That's because over half of them cast for free and I want to unlock their bonuses. The only mandatory one to put extra hard points into is Unstable Currents. For the Paragon tree, I recommend if you're starting out to rush to get all 5 boards and their legendary powers. Then after that, I do Destruction as my first glyph, as the crit damage it provides is more efficient than any other option for damage output. I'm still tweaking with the Paragons overall, and I will update the written guide over time as it changes. This build has been a lot of fun to tweak and play with. I took a long break from Diablo for it, and even now I've only been playing again for a few days. I'm overwhelmed with how many of you asked for this, and I'll continue to tweak and improve it. Once again, the full build guide can be found in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, please consider dropping a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.